Hey guys, it's Edwin here, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I'm going to talk about the 9 common mistakes people make when dealing with narcissists. It can be that narcissistic mother, that coworker, or just any kind of serial manipulator in your life. Because if there's one thing in this life, you will meet people who will manipulate you, you will meet people who will use you, and you may make many mistakes when interacting with them. As I've said, the narcissist in your life can be your mother, can be your coworker, can be your partner, can be your family, can be your siblings, or just anyone you have to deal with or anyone you have to interact with. So when we understand like some of the mistakes we make when handling them, at least it can help us navigate these difficult conversations or these difficult relationships with them in a smoother way without ending up like hurting ourselves or without ending up like falling prey for their hurtful behaviors. And that's what I'll talk about in this video. So this is helpful for you if you're dealing with one currently, but it will also be helpful for you because in one way or another you will deal with a manipulative person. And the more you avoid these mistakes, the more you keep yourself safe. The first mistake is, of course, trying to change them. Actually, if there is one worst mistake you can make when dealing with a narcissist or that highly manipulative person in your life, is trying to change their behaviors or waiting for them to change their behaviors. It might be your boyfriend, your girlfriend, and you are always waiting for them to change. The thing is, a narcissist is so deeply entrenched in their own worldview or their own perspective of how they view things, and they actually lack the willingness to acknowledge their undesirable behaviors or the willingness to acknowledge their inappropriate behaviors. Because without the willingness to accept your bad behaviors, it means that you're not willing to change. So if you're spending most of your time and energy like trying to change them, maybe you need to realize that you are the only one who needs to change. True change will only come when someone is willing to take full responsibility of their lives or take full responsibility of what they are doing. The second mistake we make is to take their behavior personally. Like you look at their behaviors and their actions as a portrayal of who you are as a person, or you look at their behaviors and actions as a reflection of who you are. Let's say when they are angry or they are depressed, you think that you've done something. So the moment you look at their problems as if the cause of them is you will get more frustrated and you'll get disappointed, and of course you'll get hurt. So you have to understand that what they do stems from their distorted sense of self and their distorted worldview, and it also stems from their preoccupation with meeting their needs at the expense of others. It's not you, it's about them. And the other thing is, you may also believe that there is something that you have to work on in yourself so that they can go back to who they were before, like to their good ways, or you may feel that maybe there's something you did that made them change their behaviors. No, it's still on them. You don't have to blame yourself for their sudden like behavior change, and even you don't have even to believe that it's something to do with you. As long as something is acting undesirably, it's on them, and as long as you are acting undesirably, it's on you. And some of the common beliefs you may adopt may include something like, oh, I need to be a better communicator, or I need to be a better person, I need to validate them more, I need to like grow thinner, I need to forgive them, or just anything that points you as the one who made them change their behaviors, or as the one who made the narcissist go to the dark side. So that's a very, very huge mistake. The third mistake is arguing with them. Here's the thing, you cannot win an argument with someone who always thrives in these chaotic environments, with someone who always wants to win, who sees losing in quotes as like a do or die kind of situation. So never argue with a narcissist. It will always be unproductive because they always crave power and control, and they can't dare lose that argument. So when you argue with them, it's like you're giving them like free bullets they can use to hurt you, or free bullets they can use to shoot you or manipulate you further. The other thing is, a narcissist loves provoking you so that they can get a reaction from you, or so that they can feel that they are still in control of you. So when you argue with them, it feeds, or it provides evidence, it feeds their belief that they are still in control of you. It will also provide evidence of your craziness when they gaslight you, or when they smear you, or when they tell others about your abusive ways. So don't argue with them. The best way to win against them is to, of course, not to engage in their power struggles. The fourth mistake is trying to reason with them. Yes, I know you have good intentions and you're like, I can just understand, I can just reason with them. No, it doesn't work that way with narcissists, because they are low in empathy and they view the world very, very differently. They cannot see things from your own perspective. They cannot see things from your own worldview. Yes, you might try to reason to them, or you might try to convince them to see things, or you might try to convince them to understand things like care, love, or anything, but it's pointless. You cannot force them to understand you, or you cannot force them to understand that some of their behaviors are hurtful. They may not really understand the hurtfulness of their behaviors, and they may even play victim. They'll also dismiss your perspective because they want to always be right. Like to the narcissist, being right supersedes the truth. So they'll choose to be right than take the truth. The fifth one is giving in to their demands. Like, it's so important not to always give in to their demands, because when you give in to their demands, it can reinforce their sense of entitlement, and it may even lead to further manipulation and further abuse. So the thing is, narcissists have this grandiose sense of self, and there is always this need for admiration and attention and validation, which can lead them to believe that they always, or they're always entitled to what they want, or they're entitled to any form of special treatment or privileges. So what happens is, like when you let that one thing slide, or when you constantly give them chances, or when you constantly forgive them, it can reinforce their belief, or it can reinforce this belief of entitlement, and even encourage them to keep pushing your boundaries, to keep testing those boundaries, and manipulate others to get what they want. Because if you let them in, they will see that, actually I can do this more often. So when you give in, or when you don't say no, it's like telling them that your boundaries are shaky, or your boundaries are scanty, and you will make perfect prey for them, because they need someone who cannot keep their boundaries. The sixth mistake is a common one, especially after you've left the relationship, is expecting closure. So the thing is, when a narcissist finally like discards you, or closes that door on the relationship, or leaves you for someone else, the mistake most of us will make is like expecting some sort of closure talk, some sort of official end of the relationship from the narcissist. No, you should not expect that. They will not give you answers. They will not give you the answers you are looking for, because they want to keep you for their supply, and they don't want you to move on, because it's like a competition. When you move on, it's like you are above them, and it's kind of this battle for superiority. So they will not provide you with that closure. Like, they will not want you to move on. They will want you to keep you there, just in case they want you to supply their needs. The other mistake is minimizing the abuse. This is where like you rationalize, you make excuses, or you downplay some of the abusive ways. You might downplay verbal abuse. You must downplay emotional abuse by using statements like, at least it's not physical, or they are not that bad like my past ex, or they don't display all signs of narcissism. It's all about rationalizing and making excuses aimed at preserving that relationship with them. You can say that my mother is not like the rest, or my narcissist is not like the rest. No, you are still rationalizing. And the thing is, the more you minimize the emotional abuse, of course, you'll be lying to yourself. And the more you also minimize the abuse you are being subjected to, the more your self-esteem is damaged. And the more you do that, the more you also open doors to other forms of abuse like sexual abuse or even physical abuse. So this mistake is also tied to thinking that by ignoring their verbally abusive ways, or by ignoring what they call you, you are protecting yourself, or you are keeping yourself safe from them. No, ignoring is still a mistake. You need to realize that just because those scars are not like visible, or just because those scars are not like physical, it doesn't mean that they are not hurting you or eating you on the inside. They are still eating you on the inside. So do not minimize, just see it for what it is. The other mistake we may mostly make is expecting reciprocation. Yeah, if there is one human behavior, is that feeling of reciprocating. So you see, like, a relationship with a narcissist is mostly one-sided. And the mistake you will make is thinking that by sacrificing your needs, by sacrificing your boundaries, or by prioritizing them, or by giving your all to them, like they will reciprocate. Like, if I do this, I know they will come through. No, that's never the case. And the narcissist will drain every ounce of energy, will use your money, will use all your resources without giving anything back. Mostly the thing where they give back is just negative energy and frustrations, disappointments, like all those kinds of negative things that will leave you feeling sad. So do not expect any reciprocation. Another mistake we mostly make, especially after studying about narcissism or knowing about them, is overestimating your ability to deal with them. This is the last like common mistake. You might read about narcissism, or you might also like be a psychologist or something, and you feel that you can easily deal with them now because you know them. You know all the science, you know all the manipulation techniques. The thing is, you may know all these things, but the narcissist knows which buttons to press. They know which buttons to press in you that will make you subjugate. They know which buttons to press that will make you susceptible to manipulation. They know your vulnerabilities, and they can exploit so well so that you can lower your boundaries. They know what triggers your deep insecurities, and they know how they can get to you. So you can't truly like figure them out because some of your actions mostly are unconscious, and your wounds are blinding your vision. In conclusion, dealing with any kind of narcissist is incredibly challenging, and without your deep awareness, you may find yourself making a lot of mistakes. You may find yourself getting deeply entrenched into those difficult conversation or into that traumatic environment, especially when you have to interact with them. So even if you're not in a relationship with one, you may encounter a narcissist in your life, or you may encounter a narcissist in your inner circle without even you knowing that that person is manipulating you. So, and the thing is, because we are social beings and we cannot really lock ourselves, we cannot all lock ourselves in a house and live in isolation, avoiding these common mistakes can just be a step that will help you establish healthy boundaries and know that when it gets to dealing with people who have a distorted worldview, there are things you're not supposed to do. And this will prevent you just to keep yourself safe from further harm. And one last thing is, always remember that you are working on yourself, not because there are narcissists out there, or not because you are in an abusive relationship, or not because there are people out there who can manipulate you. No, you are working yourself. You are working on yourself because you deserve a life of freedom, because you deserve a life of bliss. Like, you're not working on yourself to deal with narcissists. I hear people saying that I want to work on myself so that I can attract healthy relationships, so that I can deal with narcissists. No, these are just like byproducts of working on yourself. But you are working on yourself so that you can be at peace within yourself, so that you can connect with your authentic self. And the thing is, when you are at peace within yourself, you will be at peace with those around you. You will also be at peace with knowing that there are manipulative people out there, but there are also kind-hearted people out there, and you don't have to just classify people as this is this, this is that. No, you don't understand and just be okay with it as it is. Like, those people live side by side, manipulative people and good-hearted people. Hope you found that informative, guys. So avoid those mistakes, but as always, there is only one way out, and that one way is to work on yourself. So if you've encountered these mistakes in the past, feel free to share some of the mistakes you made. And as always, if you want some help, feel free to book a free breakthrough call with me, and I'll help you out. Until next time,